What's up guys, it's in, it's gone, and today we'll be looking at 5 trades for one of the best rentals on the market in Lucas Giolito of the Chicago White Sox. Recently, White Sox GM Rick Hahn, when speaking about this trade deadline, went on to say that Dylan Cease and Luis Robert were untouchable going into the trade deadline. Although it is disappointing that we won't see a blockbuster trade involving these two players, it does mean that fellow starting pitcher Lucas Giolito could be on the trade block and should see a line of suitors as one of the top pitchers on the market. Giolito has always been a workhorse since his call-up, making around 30 starts every year and pitching around 170 innings. This consistency is what makes him so valuable to a playoff contending team, as one knows that he will be on the field come September and October, while also giving the best chance he can to win the game, and with him, it's often very good. This year, Giolito has posted consistent numbers to his overall career, posting a 1.24 ERA plus with a 3.53 ERA and 108 strikeouts in 99 innings. Although not a top-of-the-line starter, Giolito possesses all of the makings of a 2-starter, and many teams already have their ace, so adding Giolito shores up pitching depth. However, Giolito will be a rental as a free agent this offseason, meaning that a team will most likely only have Giolito for half a year, hurting his trade value. As for what the White Sox want, considering that they are not willing to trade Cease or Robert, they see a contention window opening very soon, and in the American League Central, that can be as soon as next year. Therefore, I can see them going after mainly MLB-ready prospects, especially pitchers, but all chips are on the table. But before we get onto this video, could you guys please hit the like and subscribe button? Currently, only 3% of people who watch my videos are subscribed, so if y'all do, not only would it help me grow my channel, but it also encourages me to create more videos like this one for you guys. And without further ado, let's get on to the video. First up, the defending World Series champion Houston Astros are currently not even leading the American League West despite their dominance in recent years. Their chances of winning the division title are unlikely, and in the vaunted American League wildcard race featuring a bunch of American League East teams, the Astros must fight and claw to make it in. Although the Houston Astros have been performing well in terms of their pitching, boasting a top 10 ERA of 3.51, one can never have enough starting pitchers. For the Astros, adding someone like Lucas Giolito to their roster would be a significant and valuable move for the team, as it increases the team's depth around him and allows their younger pitchers like Hunter Brown to take a less prominent role that they are possibly not ready for. The Astros farm system is one of the worst in the league, but for a rental like Giolito, they can slide by trading outfielder Jacob Melton and MLB-ready catcher Corey Lee. While Giolito adds another top-of-the-line middle-of-the-rotation piece for the Astros, already featuring Christian Javier and Framber Valdez, the White Sox get an outfielder with 2020 potential in Jacob Melton, and with good speed as well, and an MLB-ready catcher who can learn from one of the best in Yasmani Grandal before he leaves. All for half a year Lucas Giolito, they get two very young players with a lot of room to grow. Although the Reds' run to the top of their division has been fluky to say the least, they still have the best chance to win the incredibly weak National League Central Division, and a trade for Giolito will certainly help with all of that. The Reds' rotation has been awful this year, with no current starter not on the IL posting an ERA plus above 100, making them all below league average. In order to survive the long season, in which offense can sputter at times, good pitching is a requirement, and for the Reds, their new ace would then be Lucas Giolito. Him alongside Hunter Green when healthy make the Reds a dangerous threat in the playoffs, and also add some insurance to a team to not rely so much on young starting pitching. However, the Reds can now use this young pitching to facilitate a trade, as they have a ton of controllable years left on their contracts. In my trade, I have young pitchers being sent over in left-handed pitcher Brandon Williamson and right-handed Levi Stout, both of whom have already reached the major league level and have a decent chance to stick it in the rotation for the White Sox at least this year. Furthermore, they also throw in a 2024 competitive balance round pick, which should fall between the second and third round. The White Sox, meanwhile, grab two young pitchers with upside, similar to the Nelson Cruz trade for Joe Ryan, if that all worked out. On top of that, they get a pick, which helps them aid a league-worst farm system. The Arizona Diamondbacks are right in the thick of it in the National League West and could use some pitching depth badly. An injury to Merrill Kelly has shown how tested this back-end pitching could be. Brandon Pfaadt has struggled in the major leagues, while Ryan Nelson and Zach Davies have been extremely inconsistent. Grabbing a more consistent starter in Giolito will prove valuable in shoring up the issues with the back end of the rotation come playoff push time. The Diamondbacks have one of the best farm systems in the league, and the White Sox need some young starting pitching. And this trade helps both teams as the Diamondbacks send over left-handed pitcher Blake Walston and righty Slade Ciccone. Both of these pitchers are currently pitching for the Diamondbacks AAA affiliate and should make the team all things considered, either this year or next year. For the White Sox, this adds 2 young pitchers with tons of controllable years left on their contract, with some upside as well, as Walston was a former first-round pick and Ciccone has a wipeout sweeper. With this trade, the White Sox could see what they have in these 2 players for the rest of the 2023 season, and then plan accordingly with these young players in the offseason to shore up the rest of the pitching depth come the 2024 season. The Baltimore Orioles have been stride for stride with the first place Rays, and this has mostly been predicated on elite pitching and a great bullpen, rather than good starting pitching. Sure, they've had Tyler Wells and Kyle Bradish pitch well for them, but FIP shows that Wells is getting pretty lucky with a FIP 1.5 runs higher than his actual ERA, and a great team like the Orioles needs more than just 2 good pitchers to make any noise come playoff time nonetheless. Therefore, that means that Giolito would be a really good fit for them as a consistent starting pitcher. With a league-best farm system, they make off like bandits, trading only outfielders Judd Fabian and left-handed pitcher Cade Pavich. Pavich is a pitcher who should be in the White Sox's rotation next year in 2024, as a left-handed pitcher with some excellent stuff, including a mid-90s fastball, but the real prize here is Dylan Beavers, a young outfielder with 5-tool potential, but with light tower power as well. And drafted just a year earlier in the first round, he should have a lot of ways to go with the White Sox's development team, but should make some noise once he reaches the major league level. Although at the beginning of our contention window, it doesn't make that much sense to spend this much for a rental, Giolito's consistency will prove invaluable in the playoffs as a top-of-the-line starting option for the Baltimore Orioles. This trade for the Dodgers works out perfectly for their timeline and overall plan of action this coming offseason. As a rental, not only will Giolito not cost as much compared to a pitcher like Shane Bieber, but will also be off the books financially, giving the Dodgers more financial reign to sign a player like Ohtani this offseason. Giolito will help out the current ball club, which has been decimated by injuries in the starting pitching rotation, by being the de facto veteran ace next to Clayton Kershaw with all of these injuries, and then a middle to back end starter once everyone comes back healthy. With a top 3 farm system, the Dodgers can afford to acquire a rental like Giolito on a relatively cheap and not give up any impact prospects who are forecasted to have a huge role with the club. In my trade, I have right-handed starter Ryan Pepiot, along with left-handed light-hitting infielder Corbett Vivas, headlining the return package back to Chicago. Ryan Pepiot has the potential to be a middle to top-end rotation piece for Chicago, but at the same time, with all of these young starters in LA, he's expendable, with Bobby Miller and Emmett Sheehan making their debuts to smashing results. Meanwhile, Vivas is sitting very well in AA, and should be a nice addition at second base for the White Sox starting next year. Overall, looks like a win-win for both sides. Thank you guys so much for watching. Remember, if you enjoy, please like, share, and subscribe, and comment down below new video ideas. Also, let me know if you really think Lucas Giolito is going to be traded. With all of these recent rumors with the White Sox and Lucas Giolito possible extension, I don't know. But let me know in the comments down below. And I will see you guys in the next video.